Hey there, greetings from beautiful Hoi An, Vietnam. I've got one more day here. I'm just sitting at my hotel with a view of the rice fields here. It's really beautiful in this historic town in Vietnam. And this video, I just wanted to go over my process of applying for the DTV visa, which was rejected not once but twice, unfortunately. So I just received an email while I was eating lunch earlier today with another YouTuber here in Hoi An. And I received notification that my DTV visa application had been rejected again. I applied for the DTV like a day after I arrived in Vietnam, and it took 2 days. They got back to me immediately, and they said, "Okay, your application's rejected." And I applied at the Royal Thai Consulate in Hanoi for this one. And I couldn't really figure out why it was rejected because they didn't provide any reasoning whatsoever in the email. It just said, your application's rejected. Please do not respond to this email. It's no reply, right? So I had no way to know what happened exactly. So I posted in some Facebook groups, and they basically let me know that probably the place of issue for a passport, I put Bangkok mistakenly because I actually got another passport while I've been here in Thailand, because my other one was full and it expired. So I got a new one, and I put place of issue as Bangkok instead of the United States. So it was rejected on those grounds alone. So I'm like, oh shit, now what do I do? It's non-refundable. I'm basically out $340 with nothing to show for it. And I just decided, why the hell, I'll just apply again, right? So this time I applied at the Royal Thai Consulate in Ho Chi Minh, just to kind of switch it up. There's only two consulates in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi. And I happened to be in Da Nang at the time for a conference, Vietnam Nomad Fest, which I've been attending for the past 2 weeks, and I was actually a speaker at the conference. Met a lot of interesting people, but more on that later. So I applied a second time for the DTV visa, and this time I made sure to put United States as place of issue for my passport. And sure enough, it went through. The application got to the supporting documents stage. So at this stage, you need to upload your documents, such as, I had already uploaded the proof of funds. I had 500,000 baht in my Wise account, so that was no issue whatsoever. And then I also uploaded proof of where I was staying in Vietnam, put up my hotel accommodation that I had booked through Agoda, the booking confirmation. And then a couple days later, I received another email from the e-visa office. You have to apply through the e-visa website, and you have to apply while you're outside of Thailand. This is a very important point. You cannot apply while you're in Thailand. And that's one of the reasons why I came to Vietnam in the first place. Not only that, but also to speak at this conference, and also to ride the Hai Giang Loop with a buddy of mine from Samui. I uploaded the other documents, and I also needed to include, they needed me to take selfies in front of different landmarks proving that I was in Vietnam. So I had to upload a document with 5 different selfies in front of different places that proved I was in Vietnam. And then I also needed to show pictures of every single page of my passport, including the empty pages. So then I got another email a few days later saying, okay, you need to upload all of your documents, including empty pages. So I did that, and I put it into nice PDFs. I exported the documents into PDFs, so it's very easy to read. Now, third time, they sent me another email a couple days ago saying, okay, now you need to show proof of your salary, your payouts every single month, your salary for 6 months. So I did that, put all of the payouts that I'm getting from both YouTube and Facebook every single month, officially from Google and Meta, Facebook, and then I uploaded that document. Then they got back to me a 4th time, and they said, okay, now you need to highlight, for some reason, I need to highlight all of the payouts in each slip. So I did that, and then I also included each payout into my Bangkok bank account as well, and made sure to highlight those. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, this has to get approved now, right? There's no reason it's going to get rejected. And unfortunately, earlier today, about 2 hours ago, I received an official rejection email from the e-visa office saying no explanation whatsoever. It just says your application was rejected. I have no idea why. So the only thing I can think of is that last document, basically the salary slips, there's some issue there. I'm not entirely sure what, since there's no explanation why it was rejected. And now I'm out about $700. That's like roughly 25,000 baht, with absolutely nothing to show for it. I had to go through this entire process, which is very tedious. When I go back to Bangkok and then Samui in a few days, just 2 more days, I fly back on the March 28th as I'm recording this now. I should be able to get the visa exemption again, no issue, 60 days, and then I can extend that another 30 days. So the only other options are, I work for my former boss. He's basically offered to, help me get the business visa set up, and then I can just work for him. I already worked for him a year. I ended up quitting my job and I had to relinquish the work permit. And the other option is I set up my own company, which is something I've been entertaining for quite some time now. Now I actually have the company set up in the US as well. That was another thing that I needed to show as proof of registration with my company, so I had to do that for the DTV visa as well. For what reason, I'm not entirely sure. At least I have a company in the US now. It's an LLC, registered in Wyoming, so I guess that's a good thing. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but I have a company registered in the US. Another option is I could just return to the States. That's something that I've really been putting off for a very long time now. I've been living in Thailand for 5 years. I'm much happier over there. I have a much better quality of life, more peace, and I've been together with my fiancée for 4 years now, so that's also another option, is I just get married, which I've been wanting to do. We've been talking about for a long time now anyway. Checks all the boxes, right? Then I can stay in Thailand for as long as I'm married. Basically, I just have to stay married at that point, which shouldn't be any issue whatsoever. Probably the best option for me moving forward. And I'm not going to be applying for the DTV again. I think it's just a sunk cost at this point. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a long stay tourist visa. You can't even open a bank account with the DTV. I can see if you're a digital nomad working remotely, or you want to take Muay Thai classes or learn Thai cooking or these sorts of things. But otherwise, it's better just to set up your own company or get married, or get an LTR or a smart visa for, like, if you're retired and you want to stay there for up to 10 years, or you want to launch a startup, that's a good option as well. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but at least I should get the 60 days when I come back in, and then I can extend an additional 30 days. So that's 90 days total. And if I have to do another border run, then so be it. It's not the end of the world. And that just gives me some time to figure out what to do next. At the same time, I also really like it here in Vietnam. Da Nang is a beautiful city, very popular for digital nomads, and that's basically the main reason why I'm here, is for Vietnam Nomad Fest. That's a 2-week conference, and they're going to be doing another one next year, so I'll leave a link down below if you want to check that out with all the information on the website. I've met a lot of interesting people here, lots of new connections, and maybe potential clients as well. I only have another 3 days here before I fly back to Bangkok, and it's really quite unfortunate that it got rejected, but you know what they say, everything happens for a reason. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace from Vietnam. See you soon back in Thailand.